The answer's justice.
For those that don't know, if you're just tuning in, this is our spoiler-free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler-free, no spoiler, high impressions, little review, hopefully hype video for The Batman.
Vengeance.
I think before we kick into it, let's give credit and shout-outs where they're due. Big, massive kudos again to Michelle and the crew at Iconique Brands. Thank you again for extending us the courtesy, the honor, the invite to attend the premiere viewing and screening of The Batman.
So easy on this mic.
I thought you were going to say vengeance again.
I am vengeance.
Like a running gag every time. The Batman.
I am vengeance.
No, again, the slick organization, smooth. Just we've said it in our preview videos, but we'll say it again. The snacks they do and organize, from popcorn to little chips and everything. The Funko Pop that folks get, I believe it was like an Eternals, a few Eternal Funko Pops, as well as one or two Batman Funko Pops, which is like, of course,
yeah, a Batmite one, I think.
Batmite, yeah, that 100-something anniversary Batmite, which is like just super awesome, super cool for those who got that. I'm so jealous. And I got to take it like one step further because, I couldn't attend the movie in person, so I have yet to view it. So a lot of what I have to say is off what our other inmates from the asylum kind of told me and briefed me on. But one thing they did say that they got there a little bit late, a bit of a timing mix-up in that, and Michelle and her crew had just done such a good job of engaging and interacting with the movie cinemas and that all they really had to do was find the right manager at the place. They were here, part of the whole premiere for Iconic, show them like the
invite,
the invite on their phones, and they were like, oh yeah, no, come here. They showed them to the cinema, and then it was just a case of them finding the open seats. So they didn't get the whole movie from the beginning, but they got most of it.
Nice.
And were able to give an impression. And even if you do miss a few minutes in the beginning, it's a 3-hour long movie.
I was about to say, like, that is the advantage.
Lot of storytelling, slow burn. So yeah, Michelle, Iconic Brands, thank you so much for having and partnering with the Asylum for this, and stay tuned.
Stay tuned for Doctor Strange. Are we allowed saying? I don't know.
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness. Look at that camera. Yeah, so we've done that. Let's kick into impressions, high level. You've seen the film.
I have. So just a small context without trying to get too off topic. I was stoked. I loved the movie and everything. But when I did watch it, I did like in the first half, I had a bit of a work, what's it called?
Distraction.
Yeah. So it was like messaging profusely, and it was annoying, but it had to happen. So
did you have those people in the cinema? Hey, put your phone away. Shh, put your phone away. Your screen is interfering with my experience.
Luckily not, but we were in the back row.
Okay.
So that did take me out of the story a bit. So I definitely want to watch it again. But my first impressions were I liked it. It was cool, but I left there like with mixed emotions because I know everyone's trying to rate it and everyone's trying to like, is it the best Batman? And I don't know yet.
Okay.
My first instinct is I think there'll always be a special place in my heart for Dark Knight. Not only because of Heath Ledger, but because I think Christian Bale's my generation Batman. Just like it's not yours.
Sure.
What's his name is. But I still liked it. It wasn't like this, in Suicide Squad, like Jared Leto like was terrible as much as I'm a fanboy of him. It was bad. This was like, and it was such a different take on him, and I liked it.
On the Joker or Batman?
No, sorry, Batman. Yeah.
Okay. Look, one of the some of the impressions that Gordy gave me, one of our inmates, he said to me that it exactly kind of like what you're saying, different to any of the other Batman movies he'd seen. He said it had its action moments, and when there was action, but it wasn't like the Nolan films
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Then there was very much a case of a lot more detective story. So he said it was, yeah, if you didn't know anything about Batman the character and you're just watching this thing, you'd think it was just like a weirdly dressed Sherlock Holmes because Patterson's whole take, and in fact their take on this Batman was really going into the detective elements of it.
Yeah.
And he was saying there's scenes where it's, you know, it's not just Gordon and him. Sorry, Commissioner Gordon this time, not our inmate Gordon. But they're at a crime scene and they're inspecting it together. But there's also all the other cops there too, and they've just, it's like 2 or so years of Batman being around, and they've kind of just accepted that the bat comes, especially for the freaky, weird kind of cases. The bat's just there working with Gordon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't want to, again, it's so hard not to get in spoilers, but there is choices that they've made that I think were really smart. Like they didn't do Batman's origin story, which I think was a great move because it's been done so many times.
Sure, 100%.
But Matt Reeves is really clever in these. There's an opening scene. I don't want to give too much away, but like even Kira was sitting next to me and she's like, but Batman's parents didn't die in an apartment. Like, and I'm like, it's not Batman's parents. And it took her a second or two for the story to unfold. It was the murderer like busy scoping these people out.
Right.
It was the beginning of another crime. But so Matt Reeves was cleverly laying that foundation of like,
Okay.
and you'll see later it's not hectic, but then Bruce Wayne sees that kid and it's telling you the struggles he's going through, but by not telling
It's not in your face.
it's not his origin story, but he's seeing and relating to another kid that's lost his parents, and it's a small little side beat, but I think it's like done quite well.
Nice.
Just to remind you, like, okay, remember that's what this young Bruce Wayne is dealing with still.
Another thing that came up was I asked a question about, you know, how was Colin Farrell, and his initial answer was, he wasn't in the movie. And when I said no, he's the Penguin, it was like mind blown kind of thing because of the transformation. And apparently he said like, you just awesome. Like he was, just almost scene stealing every time. He was just so much presence in that.
It's cool that you say that because I just can't help myself. I watch it like a bunch of like preview videos and stuff even before I've watched the video, and I want to know as much as I can and get involved. And so many people had like their opinions and stuff, and I agree where like Robert Patterson didn't stick out, but I liked his Batman. I still do, and I think he's got a lot of room to grow. They've given him that like because like I explained, I know this is a little bit of a spoiler, but he's not rich playboy billionaire yet.
Yeah.
He's still like, he only wants to be Batman. He's like miserable. He's like, and that's why they say he's like an emo Batman. And there's a lot of narration in the movie, which kind of caught me off guard, but I'm getting off topic now. Sorry.
Which is actually quite cool because that's like a lot of good Batman stories. Long Halloween, all of those. There's a lot of Batman's narration, almost like his inner thoughts as things are unfolding and stuff. So that's actually quite cool.
Yeah. And so what I was getting to is he was cool. A lot of people said Zoe Kravitz is like the best Catwoman ever. I don't think she was bad, but she didn't steal it from me.
Okay.
Unpopular opinion. My favorite Catwoman to date is actually Anne Hathaway.
Really?
I don't know why. There's something about her acting. Again, I know it's an unpopular thing. So I'm keen to see what you think. But to me, who stole the show was, and I don't want to say it to hype it up for you, but when he was on screen, Colin Farrell was just like, I think he's like really, really cool. Okay. And he's not even fully the Penguin yet. So I think he's just got so much room to like.
Oh, nice.
He's still more like underlinked to Falcone.
John Turturro was playing Falcone. How I've heard from post-movie reviews from other sources that Turturro was also solid as Falcone.
So he wasn't bad, but he didn't like blow me away. So whelmed sounds horrible, but he did his role and it was okay, you know. But I definitely think there's other roles that stole stuff. And like one thing that I want to talk about, I don't know how much Gordon talked to you about, but I've got mixed feelings about the Riddler. From a total...
who played him again?
Paul Dano.
Paul Dano, yeah.
He played it as a character really well. It was really cool. He was freaky. He was weird. Like, like chills, kind of like sometimes you like where you can't pin him down. But I do think they could have developed his character a bit more, and I think they're still going to. But as the Riddler, now the riddles were really cool, and how Batman could pick up on them. And I'm not going to give too much away, but his creepiness to me was just too much Joker-esque. And I know they were. If you,
which Joker? Because that's my Joker is a semi-playful. And then on a whim, psychotic. That's my Joker.
Only psychotics. And I'll give you the two examples.
So you're doing the Ledger type of Joker.
Ledger and Gotham.
Okay,
and
right.
there's two. I'm scared I'm getting, but you know, in Gotham and in Ledger's one, there's a thing where he's on the phone and he's like, and he's like losing his mind on the phone. Now this Riddler does similar stuff, not like laughing or anything, but he sets up like riddles and stuff on the phone, and he's like in the, like, you know, you can see him and he like half tortures someone. And I felt like my first thing was like, I've seen that before.
Okay.
Besides that, like, again, his character looks really different. He's like, you can probably see in the trailers, he's taped himself up.
I have, and I've seen all the action figures from McFarlane, so I know the visual.
And it's this whole idea that he's like a forensic accountant, and it's about not leaving any fingerprints behind, and it's his own weird, like...
Sure.
I do think, what's his name, took a little bit of like a skim off like the Hush sort of, because he's stolen like elements.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Long or Halloween he's taken from... apparently there's even shots that look like they're straight out the comic. I didn't pick it up immediately, but I want to go check it out the panels and see.
Okay.
But overall, dude, I really digged it. It was cool. But I do think it is one of those things, because I read so much good hype about it, I kind of sat there and I was like, I wasn't as hyped. So I should have actually just ignored it all, and I think I probably would have enjoyed it more.
So you could even be a victim of your own...
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Your own expectations, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to see it, and I'm going in there, you know, from the start, because it was emo Batman.
Yeah.
My expectations have been low, but off the back of the feedback on Paul Dano and the psychotic side of it, the show-stopping Penguin, I'm going to go watch it, and I'm looking forward to seeing those too. And I'll give Pattinson the benefit of the doubt because it's Detective Batman, so I'm keen for that.
And there is one cool thing, is like, what I do like, and not a lot of movies do this, is that when you watch trailers these days, you're like, well, I just watched the best parts of the movie. Dude, like 90% of the trailer movie like moments are out like in the first 10 minutes of the film. You're like,
great. Awesome.
What is, and then you're like, oh crap.
Okay, so now I have no idea what's coming.
Yeah, so that was quite cool.
Okay, nice.
And one of the, I mean, it is have you seen trailers?
Yeah.
Where he beats him. And he's like, who are you? He's like, I am vengeance.
Yes.
And it's still a cool moment. But what I do like is before that, I'm holding, but they've just got this way, which I won't say anything, but it's so simple, but it's just like, it's the whole controlling of fear, and he's menacing, where there's just nothing. And you just hear his footsteps.
Cool.
For a while, and they like, where? And then he starts coming out of the shadows, and he takes his time, almost like, I've got all the time in the world. You better be afraid. And it's like,
nice.
Okay, that's like hectic, like, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, another side note, not a show stealer, very little screen time, but Andy Serkis is a really cool Alfred. I dig it.
Yeah. I've actually heard that it was on one of the other reviews I saw, that it was a low-key, brilliant, like cameo performance. Not cameo, but just his take on Alfred.
What I
was
do
just solid.
like is because he's still got that age gap on him and stuff. In this movie, he kind of helps him with some of the stuff, which he does do in the comics and stuff. But he actually sits through some of like a Riddler's like, clues and stuff, and he like helps Bruce think about things in other ways. Which I was like, okay, that's cool for like his first 2 years, still finding his way. Yeah. So I like that they did that. Sorry.
Okay. So your overall impression, I mean, I'm going to go see it. I would recommend everyone else goes and sees it. Do you have a rating in mind, or do you need to see it again?
I want to see it again, but I'll straight off the bat.
How many bats would you give it out of 5?
4.
4 bats.
I was playing on 3.5, but 4 quite easily. It's still a really good movie. It's to me, I got to sit and where I would put it in my top 5 Batmans, but it's a cool film. Yeah, I dig it. But I do want to watch it again, absolutely. I think it is one of those movies that are going to age well. Okay. It's going to be rewatchable and.
Nice.
But again, consider for sure, but that's my gut.